Welcome everybody to our evening chats with Ray, Ryo, and the little Ray. The little Ray is at soccer today, so she won't be joining us. But today we're going to be talking about Ryo's favorite anime, which is called Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is one of the best animes out there right now. If you go to Crunchyroll or even Netflix, is one of the most top rated animes today. So Ryo, why do you like Solo Leveling? Like, what about Solo Leveling, or what is it about?
So, solo leveling is about our world, but it's different. So, it's our world, everybody was normal, and dungeons started appearing, and it had monsters inside of it. People started to use military weapons, but they were immune to it. But then people had awakenings, which gave them powers, and that's how they defeated it. And they had to defeat the demons, the monsters from the dungeons, so then the citizens that did not have awakenings could be saved.
Yeah, and it all takes place in the world, and when those dungeons appears, that awakening essentially gives random people powers. So they are either an S rank, a rank, a B rank, a C rank, a D rank, and then an E rank. So the main character, his name is Jinwoo, and he is a E rank. So one of the rules within the anime is that once a person has an awakening, they cannot power up. So they can't get stronger. It doesn't matter if they work out or they exercise or they train. They stay plateaued within the rank that they awaken. So a lot of people awaken at D, at C ranked. Some people awaken at B. Some rarely people would be A rank, and then very, very vaguely they would be at the top of the food chain, which would be an S rank. And our main character, Mr. Jinwoo, he had a nickname because he was an E rank, but he actually was nicknamed what?
The weakest hunter of all time.
Yeah, so he was the weakest hunter of all time. So the anime takes place, and this, I think, what got me hooked on the anime. Like I remember I was flying with you, Chris. We were flying to San Antonio, and he's like, you need to watch this anime. Like, you really need to watch it. Like, I recommend you watching it. And I'm like, okay, I have nothing to watch on the airplane. I'll put it on. And within the two first episodes, I was hooked. It's rarely like, it's weird because animes usually, the first couple episodes, nothing really happens. It's more about like introducing the characters, introducing the world, introducing, what the plot may be. But literally on the first episode, you just get action, action, action.
Yeah, the bad starts to happen out of nowhere.
And that's actually made it pretty fun. I remember watching the first episode, and again, Jinwoo goes in and he starts going to all these dungeons, and he just starts getting hurt, like left, right, and center. Bam, you just get stabbed. And he would be taken to the hospital a lot, which it's crazy because it has a good foundation for what the main character is and who the main character is. Starting from the back, they establish how weak he is, but then although he's weak, he finds himself going to the dungeon and going back and forth. And what we didn't explain is that when you are in a rank, when you have an awakening and you become a hunter, you do get paid. So there are different ways of getting paid. You can either mine the dungeons, you can either
the essence
stones inside the creatures, and then or you can become a hunter. So the reason why, although he's weak and he wanted to essentially continue to do the dungeons, although he was always getting hurt, is because he had a very, very good motive in still doing that. And what were those things? Like, why was he still a hunter although he was always in the hospital?
So what we didn't tell you was when the dungeons came, there was a lot of diseases, and one of the diseases was eternal sleep. And eternal sleep means that they sleep forever. And his mom was in eternal sleep, and his sister was going to college. So he had to pay for that, and it was a more pay work. So they try to. So he went to that job to pay for his mom's life support and his sister's college.
Yeah. So he had a adventurer's journey. He had a hero's journey. He couldn't give up because his mom was sick. And like you mentioned, like some sickness started happening, like new sickness started happening when these creatures started coming along. And one of them was the eternal sleep, which his mom was essentially sick with. And then being the older brother, he had to take a lot of responsibilities to make sure that his sister went to school. But the question is, where was the dad?
Oh, this is so good. I can't wait. So the dad, he was 102. So he went inside one of the dungeons and he disappeared. And they didn't know where he was. So that was what left him to the responsibility of his mom and his sister. But it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. So the dad disappeared. He has to take care of his mom. He has to take care of his baby sister or younger sister going to school, and paying for the tuition. So he finds himself into all these dungeons. He's constantly getting hurt. He has a best friend that's helping him healing. Like the best friend's literally a healer, which is one of the categories of hunters that you could be.
Oh yeah, and she was a B rank in a D rank dungeon.
Exactly. So every time that he would get hurt, she would be there to save him, and it was pretty sad. You know, he was always getting hurt, and she was getting mad until the day that he got his powers, and that's literally happens within the first episode to second episode, and that's when like the plot starts thinking, and you think it's like it's just gonna be slow, but it's not. And then that's when he gets his powers. But so how did he end up getting his powers in the first place?
Okay, so there was a Dumbo dungeon, which is very rare. So
a Dumbledore.
one of our episodes.
Yeah. I know it's not a double dungeon.
A double dungeon.
Dumble dungeons. No, double.
Okay, so it's a double dungeon. So they're really rare, and so you usually have one dungeon and you have to defeat the boss. They thought that they defeated the boss, but they went over and they saw another dungeon inside that dungeon. They all voted for it and they went in. So they went inside, but this dungeon was an A to a S rank dungeon because you needed to strategize and it has its own rules.
Yeah, and it is crazy. And I like the fact, and we're in season 2 now of watching it, and there's a very big comparison between one of the raids that happens in season 2 versus one of the raids that happened in season 1. But in season 1, this very first dungeon that he faces is not necessarily the very first, but how he gets his powers. They all defeat it. It's super, it was super easy. They all take a determination. Obviously, he's hurt. So they all take a vote. They all vote, hey, should we do the double dungeon or should we just let the Hunters Association, which the Hunters Association essentially is responsible for measuring the amount of powers or aura that a awakened hunter may have. And that's how they determine like what the rank is and essentially what your license is going to be. And in addition to that, they oversee the dungeons. So they measure what the dungeon is ranked in. So you'll have the different ranks. So you'll be able to, if you have a license, you'll be able to go to that dungeon, and it's a dungeon that you can handle. So the Hunters Association, essentially, it's basically the overseers of each dungeon. And essentially, there are protocols that you need to have. So the protocol for this one, for a double dungeon, was that you were supposed to leave and let the Hunters Association know that a double dungeon just appeared so that they can come back and they can remeasure, or they can tell you that somebody else has to take care of it. The characters in this time, they were like, well, we defeated the boss. We should be fine. There's a double dungeon. Let's take a vote. Everybody needed the money, right? Because everybody,
families.
Yeah, they have families. They had other stuff. So majority of them voted to go. And it wasn't until they got to the double dungeon that they faced somebody. Like who did they face, and why was this? What are the rules of this dungeon?
Okay, so this is a very it's a strategy dungeon. It's not to kill. So it says that you must praise God, you must worship God, and you must show God that you you honor him. So that's what it says. That's what the captain said. And it's this huge statue, and it was the god. And around him was soldiers and people who play instruments and singers. So next to the doors were statues. And one of the so he read that, and they were like, what? And the doors closed. They could not open it. And that's when the real trouble began.
Yeah. So the doors closed. They're all trying to figure out. They're all freaking out because this is the first dungeon that they've ever been like that, where it's not just like monsters or whatever. It's something very, very smart and something very, very evil. So they close, they read the lines, and the first that they do, they start hating on each other, right? They start freaking out. They start going against each other. Anarchy takes place, and one of the dudes is like, I'm going to leave. Runs towards the doors, and wham.
One of the statues kills him by the head, decapitates him.
It's insane. And it just captures you right there. This is literally the second or first. I think this is the first episode. First episode. You're just seeing this. So the rules are broken. This is a double dungeon. They don't know what they're walking into. They're all against each other. They're freaking out. And out of nowhere, they're surrounded by these statues. And then they realize that somebody's looking at them.
Okay, so the healer, her name is Judy, and it's her best friend. So Jinwoo and Judy are next to each other. Jinwoo was looking at the other people. Judy looked at the big statue named God. That's the God. And then moved his eye. And it moved his eyes. Judy was like, Jinwoo. It moved its eyes. And she was like, and he was like, statues can't move their eyes. And he was like, and then she was like, it did. And then everybody was freaking out because one of the person, he had super speed. He went dashed, and the eyes of the statue laser beamed him and killed him until his feet. So they all got shocked and terrified. They couldn't move.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they were terrified. They couldn't move. And one of the cool things about the main character is that he's been hit so much and he's been borderline dead so many times that he overthinks scenarios. He's lived all these scenarios, and he has to fight so long because he's the weakest, that he has to figure out how to stay alive on each dungeon. So that gave him a good understanding to say, all right, well, what the heck? What's going on here? I'm going to die. Everybody's freaking out. This is like a come to realization that they're so weak, but he's always been so weak. He's always had to fight for his life. He's always had to think a little bit ahead to stay alive. So guess what? He was able to figure out and be calm, cool, and collected in a very, very stressful environment, and be able to think, all right, well, wait a minute. We read some rules in the beginning. What is the first rule?
The rule is to worship God. So he tried this thing. He standed up. The God looked at him, and he went down like this. So he did that, and then he said that it's a level ray. You cannot stand up. So they did that, and they went on their knees, and then they bowed to him. And this is the freakiest part. The God smiles in the creepiest way.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know. Like, I would not even know how to react in that moment. Like, imagine just being there and you think that you got it, like you're good, everything's covered, and then it just smiles.
And then it stands up, going towards them. And the second rule is to praise him. And this guy went to church school. He learned about God, but he didn't know rule for that one. So he was doing the god that was up there, not the one in the dungeon. So he did that. That god stomped on him. He died.
Yeah, that was so crazy. And when he realized, he's like, "No, that's not the dude that you
Yeah,
you need a."
like, no, run! And then he just got stomped on.
Yeah, so they needed to praise this like false god, this monster, this evil thing. So they're all trying to figure out. He thought that he was good because he was spiritual and he believed in a god and he was praying that god, and essentially he got squished like a bug. And it wasn't, again, Jinwoo thought about it. He's like, well, this is not it. It has to be within the confines of this dungeon. Like, what is there around there? Like, what can give us a sense of prayer so that this person or this monster can figure out that we are passing the test? Like, what would tell you that you're praising? So
then he finds out the people with instruments and a girl that's singing. He was like, and then they were like, go. He was like, go near the walls. And one guy went there, that had a family. He went there, and he was next to a guard. He sliced him in the middle, right in the middle, and he died.
Yeah. So essentially, you needed to be not against the soldiers. You needed to be on top of or in front of one of the statues that had an instrument on it.
And that's how you praise it. And it sings. It does the thing. So everybody's there, but you cannot have two people. And Jinwoo and Judy are in two people. It didn't work. And her safety matters more than mine, because he's the weaker hunter of all. She's a B rank hunter. She has more. So the other one was across the room. He ran as fast as he can. The god stomped on his leg and it took it out, but he was still crawling to the other one, and finally he made it.
That was crazy to see that. And again, this is all the second episode. This is all happening within the second.
No, that's the first episode.
All the first episode?
Yeah, because that's when, if he had a second chance, and that's when he was in the hospital.
That was when he was in the hospital.
So this is all in the first episode. All of this dungeon is in the first episode.
Yeah. So that's going on, that's happening. And I don't think it was that he saved her because she was a B rank. I think it was his friend. Like, he cared about her, and he would sacrifice his life in order to save her. So he put her in that one instrument because the dungeon says that two people cannot be in front of the same statue. So he had to run and try to get to the other one. Luckily, he got it. He lost a foot. And he was
the whole entire leg, like right here. Oh. He didn't even lose the foot. No, I think
it was
like
up to here. It was up to here. Yeah, he lost
here.
Yeah,
and it was insane.
Yeah, it was brutal. But even with that, they managed to get to the third trial. In the third trial, it's when like society and humanity was trying to play against them. Like, right, like they were scared. They lost a lot of people. They think that they're gonna die. And now, out of nowhere, a bunch of fires start surrounding them, like some weird fires. And then there's like some huge soldiers start surrounding them, and there's the fire. Jim will figure out what they needed to do, and what was that?
So the god sits back in the chair to watch. So Jinwoo was like, two people go. So the captain went up there because they sacrificed him, and the fire came up, and then Jinwoo was like, two people, can you please bring me there? And then he was like, and then after he saw, he was like, everybody get in here. The blue flame is the timer, and all of us, the red flame, is us, who remains. And the statues are moving closer. If you see them, like, if I see him and he's walking, he moves. Like, he stops.
Yeah, and if you don't look at me, then I'll essentially get to you. So the whole point of the task, everybody could have survived if they just had faith. And that was the third bullet. The first one was to praise, right?
To praise him.
Yeah, and then the second one was to worship.
Honor, worship him. Worship him.
Pray.
Worship, which is the thing.
Yeah.
And then praise, the song, and then show your honor to him.
So the faith. So show faith. So all they needed to do was just sit there and wait until until the time ran out, and everybody would be awarded a prize. However, humanity came in. The human condition started coming. The fear started coming. Selfishness started coming. They're all trying to freak out. They all have somebody outside. They all have family outside. They have somebody they care about, or they just don't want to die. Yep. And they start seeing the dial go down and the dial go down and the dial go down, and until it was up to 4 people. And then one abandons and starts running out. They all started running out until it was down to the leader and Judy and Jinwoo.
So what we didn't tell was Judy was healing him, and she couldn't like do any more. It was like up to here that she healed him, and she couldn't do any more. She like split out blood. So she was right there in the circle. Jinwoo was right there, the captain, and Judy. And so the captain said, Judy, get Jinwoo out of here, okay? Bring him to the hospital and stuff. I'll sacrifice myself. And then Judy, she's on the floor. She cannot move. And so the captain's like, oh my God, Judy. And then so then Jinwoo says, get her out of here. And then the captain says, no, you get her out of here. And she's like, I'm missing a freaking leg. Like, how am I going to carry her?
The captain wanted to sacrifice himself. It was partially his decision. The way he saw it, he was the leader of the raid. So he had a responsibility to everybody to make sure that everybody survived. So he wanted to sacrifice himself. It's honorable. But then Jinwoo said, dude, I don't even have a leg. I can't carry her out there. So what did he do? He told them to leave, and then he's going to suffer, and he's going to essentially sacrifice for everybody. And the worst thing of all is that you as an anime watcher, you're going to think, oh yeah, he's going to be, he's not going to suffer. He's just it's going to be okay. Oh my God, that boy got beat up.
They get beat up, but they never die.
Well,
they never die. I know they get beat up, but they never die. The main characters.
The main characters, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Goku died. I beat you there.
Yeah, but that's old. That's old anime.
Come on, you can't even say old anime. Like
we can't talk about one thing. We can't talk about an episode that we haven't done yet.
Okay, all right. But anyways, the main character was borderline. It's borderline until he saw the system.
Yep. So the system, which is this screen right above him. So he got, with the soldiers, he got like smashed. He got messed up, and he was right there. He was on that zone that went up. He was on there, and he said, if I had a second chance. And the system came, and then he said, 2 seconds until your heart stops. Do you want to be a player? And he was like, yes. And that's when it all starts.
So now you're watching the anime. Everything else, you would think that the action was happening right there, but actually this is actually following the same thing that the other anime's done. You were just understanding what the premise of how he got his powers, and now the actually anime started, which is called solo leveling. And it's because of the fact that the system gave him a second opportunity at life, but it also granted him some powers and some abilities, and that ability was to be able to
reawaken.
Yeah.
But we find out that he's not actually reawakening, because he's reawakening, but after the reawakening, he suddenly gets an A or S rank. He was 10, like 10%. That's what he rated him, still an E rank. But solo leveling is because he gets stronger and stronger. You can't do that, not even for a reawakening. So then we find out more stuff along the way that he's not a human.
Well, we don't know that yet, right? We're just in the second season.
In episode 19, we find that out. Wait, no, it was in the elves.
It was in the elf. Barca was essentially insinuating that he wasn't a human.
We have a thing inside of our mind.
But essentially, he wasn't necessarily that he was powerful. He was an X rank right when he reawakened. He was still an E rank.
Yeah.
However, he had the ability of go to raids and do other missions and side quests in order to essentially level up. So essentially he was just leveling up every single time and becoming more powerful.
I just thought of the like centipede, the penalty. So the system says you have to do like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100, and then 10 kilometers in running. He didn't do that. He was like, I'm not doing that. Hospital people don't work. 2 hours later, or 3, he went into this desert. It transported him to a desert. Nowhere else. A desert. And there was a centipede that went up and down and tried to eat him. He got all his running done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a penalty. So he has. So imagine it being kind of like a video game, and you have your core missions that you need to accomplish, and then you have little side quests. Well, if you don't do the side quests between the missions, how it corresponds, you get penalties. So it's essentially he was getting penalties because he needed to level up to a certain extent. And I believe that right now I haven't seen a penalty yet. In the second season, but there may be more. But essentially, the core mystery of the anime is two things: is the main character trying to level up in order to become powerful and be able to defeat the different monsters that are coming or the challenges that are coming along the way. But the other mystery is, what is the system? Like, what is the system? What is the world that we're living in or they are living in? And what does that have to do with Jinwoo? And that's currently, we don't know, right? Obviously, people that read the manga, they would know, and we haven't done that. We're trying to follow along, but we're in the second season. We're trying to understand that, and that's essentially the mystery of this anime. And it's very, very well done. The storyline, the animation, it's really, really well done. That's why it's getting a lot of praises throughout the community. As of right now. So that being said, what are some of your favorite moments in the anime?
I thought you never asked. So my favorite is episode 19 where he fights the high orcs. I watch that every day. You've seen me. Bro, I watch it on and on and on and on. I love the music, like the lava when it starts to get the easier the bigger the target, the easier it is to hit. I've literally memorized that inside my mind. Okay, so that one, episode 20.
Wait, in that part in the episode 19 when he's fighting the high orc, essentially he becomes a giant. The high orc is a giant. I'm not
too fond of giants. I don't really like them.
I despise giants.
Yeah, and he's just like, I don't really like them. I'm not too fond of giants.
It's because of the god.
Yep.
Yeah. So you said the high orcs. What else?
And episode 20 where he it was not that good, but it was like really like sudden, like the Barkon something his name.
Barca.
Yeah,
the elves.
No, not the elves. The episode 20, the like leader of the dungeon when he's trying to get.
Oh, the monarch.
Yeah,
I think he's a monarch.
No, he has like this dragon thing.
Yeah. I don't know the name. Name of him.
It starts with a B. B-R.
Barian or
B-A-R something.
I don't know.
Yeah, search it up. So that one was really cool, but he just blasted stuff out of his mouth most of the time. But it got really interesting when he used his ruler hands. So that and ice elves, yeah. Arise. No, Igris.
So who's Igris?
Oh my god, yes! Igris is like the best. I have all this stuff on my wall screen. If you see it, it's all solo leveling, and I have all his shadows. So Ygris he took a penalty. So the system it gives him keys once he does his stuff. It gives him like prizes. One time I gave him a bingo card, that one, So he got a present, and it was a key, and it leads him to a dungeon, and it's a practice, and he can earn stuff, but he can't. But he doesn't really like. He doesn't get anything. He doesn't get any money. He just get like solo leveling. It's like leveling solo. So he did that, and he defeated these soldiers. If you saw in episode like 3, he can use his hands to defeat armor. His
one of the abilities.
daggers.
Yeah, the dagger.
Yeah, the daggers couldn't do it, so he did use his hands. So he was in this dungeon, soldiers. He used his hands. It was easy, and all the stuff. Oh my god, I can't wait to see the next one. All the stuff all the people and all the things that he's been through before, he faced them. He went to the boss. He thought was the boss, Igris. His name was Igris the Knight. I forgot the red knight, and he's guarding an empty throne. And so this guy's not dead. You will see that. And so he fights him. He can't do the thing. It's harder than actual armor, and he has invisible armor, so that helps him. And he takes out his daggers, and he's like, I'm going to use my hands. The guy, he's not dead because he took out all his swords and stuff. And he's still strong with the thing, but suddenly he kills him. The fight arises.
Yeah, so that you were all over the place. I was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so essentially this is one of my favorite moments too. Jinwoo has a mission. The mission is to prove himself to Igris. So Igris is the Red Knight, and he's guarding the empty throne. We don't know why. We might know why, but we don't know why. And he's guarding the empty throne, and he essentially has to prove himself. So one of the best things about Igris is that he does have a little bit of honor. So he's trying to fight Jinwoo. He's trying to prove himself. Igris is like a monster. He's a beast. And essentially, they dropped his weapon. So Igris dropped his own weapon. He's fighting or whatever. And essentially, he was able to defeat him. And when he was able to defeat him,
it says that was practice.
That was practice.
Good luck.
Yeah. So then he was taken to another like challenge, and this challenge was crazy because that's when they had a bunch of it looked like necromancers. It was like an army of the dead.
It was sorcerers, and it was sorcerers, and he was like portaling knights.
Yeah, so there was like knights and sorcerers, and they needed to defeat him. Once he defeated that's when he got a job change. So the title of it was like a job change. So now he was a necromancer, so he could arise the army. So he arised his army, but he went to one person, which it was Igris the Red Knight, and he was trying to like bring him back so that he can serve him, but he couldn't. And it wasn't until
the third try.
At the third try, when Jinwoo was like giving the knight respect and giving him, hey, you're a worthy opponent. Like I need, would like for you to rise.
Yeah, if you want to do if you want more respect.
Yeah, then no, or like do something better than guard an empty throne. And then he came up. Oh my god.
It was insane, bro. All the magic that was coming from him, bro. It was amazing.
Yeah, Igris is one of the fan favorites. Like he's just a boss.
Yeah, and he doesn't really care about iron though. like social reasons.
Yeah.
And then it was like.
So what was your you said what was the first one?
So it was, I have one more. I have, High Oryx, the battle. Episode 20 when he defeats that
it was Baran. Yep.
Baran. And gets the elf girl the kingdom.
Oh,
I love that girl.
Yeah.
Especially when he said, I like you.
Yeah.
And then it was Ice Slayers, and then it was Igris, and then the assassin the
Dang it, you're taking the Assassin Guild?
Yeah.
You're taking all of mine.
but it's so good.
I know.
Yeah,
the
so-
Assassin was a good one. There was a double agent in the guild.
Oh no, not. I'm doing the one where he had to kill 6.
Oh.
That's when, like, it was reminding me of like when the past like battles that he did through.
Yeah.
That was reminding me of that. So he got betrayed by his own. So he went to a C rank dungeon and he got betrayed.
Jin Sun Jing or something like that. Dun Sung.
Something.
Dunsu.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he got into his first C rank dungeon, and so his crew abandoned him but he was with another D rank, and so he had to fight the beast all alone. Good thing that he was solo leveling, and he beat it. And the crew came back, wanted to get all the mono crystals, which is worth thousands of dollars, millions. So they betrayed him. So then the spider, which is the boss, wouldn't eat them, and they could collect the thing and defeat the boss. So they did that, and Jinwoo defeated them, and they didn't know that. So then the system says, you have to kill them, or your heart will stop in 2 seconds.
Yeah, so at that point, essentially he went to his first sea dungeon raid. A captain, which is Dunsu, he was leading a team, and he needed a couple people to join with him. So they joined, and then that's how he met his best friend, which he calls him Boss.
Like his brother.
Yeah. Yeah, but he starts calling him Boss. He's like, hey, what's up, Boss? So essentially, they are the lowest ones in the rank. There's a leader, and then they were set up for a trap. The monster on that was sleeping, so they purposely had a trap. They're like, hey, I'm gonna let these 2 people here. The monster's gonna come. They're gonna take care of it. Then we don't have to split all of our gains with those 2 people, and we get more money. So that's what usually this character was essentially doing. Jinwoo realized that, and he was strong enough to defeat him, and then essentially Dunsu got a rude awakening because essentially Mr. Jinwoo was strong enough to be able to defeat him. What was crazy about it is because it was the fact that Dunsu was a younger brother
was an older brother.
The older brother of
an S rank hunter.
Yeah.
And S ranks can do anything.
They're so powerful that nations don't even try to do anything. They can basically break the law and not have any consequences for it. So that's a good list. Now I have to move my list or whatever. So I think my top 5 would be the god, how he got his power. That was just really good. It was really good cinema.
Strategy.
I think that's good. The Hunter Association, how he got his stuff because he needed to kill. Yeah.
He got his invisible.
Well, he got the invisible one. That would be another one. Iron. How Iron. There you go. Iron.
I was saying it wrong too.
How Iron got created or whatever, and then he was like, I'm attacking Barca, and he starts celebrating. He's like, oh.
And then the sorcerers were too scared, like, ah.
And Jin was like, no, stop it. He's like, oh shoot. And then he's like, looked at Igris. When he looked at Igris,
Igris
was
walked
like,
away.
Igris like, these people, like, whatever. I'm not with you.
He's so like cool.
Yeah, I know. Igris just like, he's pretty cool. So those are 3 moments right there. Let's see, another good one that I liked. It's like, dang, like that was pretty cool. I guess that the Arise moment was really good. And I'll leave it at that because I have a couple of the ones that you have too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I stole all of them.
Yeah, I know you stole all of mine.
Good ones.
I know. So imagine if you can if you could level up, right? Like in real life, like what skill would you want to like train every day to be stronger? So let's say if you could select like and you could level up, what would be like your strength that you would want to do?
The power would be a
Necromancer?
Yeah, necromancer.
That in real life is kind of scary.
It's not that scary.
I mean, if you have a dead dog, you can bring it back. It's kind of scary.
It's
and
not.
I use a dead dog. I'm sorry, Aang. Like I just thought about that. It's like, oh. But yeah, it's kind of creepy in real life. But let's just say, it's a necromancer.
Because, yeah, but it's really cool because you can defeat them and then you use their own strength against them.
Yeah.
Like just like episode 19. Like he used his own soldiers against him. Like it was amazing. The time that Igris just slashed his sword and all the like high orcs around him just died instantly.
Igris is a boss. One thing that I didn't like when we were watching the high orc episode, we watched it in Japanese, but now the sub came out, and the dub came out, and I saw the one in English, so I can see. I rewatched after the dub came out, I rewatched it again, and I heard it, and he doesn't sound good, and then I'm like, who voiced this? And it was J Balvin. J Balvin is you know who J Balvin is? No. He's a reggaeton artist. He butchered it. They could have hired somebody else better. But I don't know. And the reason why is because he has a broken English. So I was waiting for the character to sound all menacingly, right? And all I heard it was a Hispanic dude with broken English. I just heard my cousin or me saying, "Oh, you're so bad." It's I was this doesn't sound menacing.
That's why I stick to Japanese.
I know.
Japanese is way more better.
I know. I'm very proud of you for that. But yeah, no, it's actually it was a very good episode. But then I found out that it was J Balvin, and I was like, yeah, I knew it. The voice didn't sound deep, scary, I pronounce things. I'm not the best at pronouncing things in English, so
just iron.
Iron, yeah. So I just kept thinking. I kept noticing these things, and I got in my head. I was like, oh man, this could have been better. But at the same time, it was good. He did good. At the end of the day, you gotta appreciate it. So what are would you, if I were to ask you a couple questions about the anime, would you be able to know a little trivia?
Yes.
All right, so let's see.
Question me.
What is Jinwoo Sung's nickname at the start of the series?
Because Hunter of all time.
Yeah. What shocking events happen in the Kartanon Temple?
Kartanon Temple. I do not know. There's too many battles. I forgot.
Kartanon Temple.
Side battles.
So I can give you some
a hint?
Yeah, I can give you a hint. So there's four questions. Jinwoo is betrayed by his team. The statues come to life and attack. A dragon suddenly appears, or Jinwoo gets an instant rank up.
The people start to attack.
The people started to attack?
Wait, no. A dragon appears. I cannot see, the lights are too bright. I cannot read.
That is wrong, my love. That it's gonna be the statues came to life and attacked. Is that what you said?
No, wait, what? Oh, that was on the double dungeon?
Yeah, it was a double dungeon.
Oh, I didn't know that. Stop watching these theories. I don't know the names of these things.
Okay.
I don't know the mana.
All right. Well, I'll give you the. We'll see. So, what mysterious ability allows Jinwoo to grow stronger after the double dungeon? Was it a demon enhancement? Was it the awakening evolution? Was it mana absorption, or was it the system?
The system.
Yep.
Oh.
What colors are Jinwoo's eyes when he uses his power?
Blue.
Yeah. What is the name of Jinwoo's most loyal and strongest shadow soldier?
Igris.
Igris, yeah.
Right now in the season.
Which powerful monster does Jinwoo fight in a dungeon that shocks the entire community?
Highwig, the boss. And then he fought. Wait, is it with people or not people?
Yeah. So it's it's the high orc,
that's
which
when
is
they all found out his
yeah,
secret.
which it was an S rank boss.
Yep, A ending to S.
Yep. So who is Jinwoo's first major human enemy after his power up?
Oh, the S rank, the younger brother.
Hang Dong So. So we were saying Dun Su, whatever it is. Hang Dun So. Yep, that is correct. What happens to hunters when they enter a red gate?
They cannot come out and they have to defeat it, and they can die and the dungeon close. And if they do not defeat it, then they will be trapped in there forever and they can die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ran some words over there.
Yeah. What job class does Jinwoo receive from the system?
Mining. Wait, no.
What job class?
No job class. Okay.
Yeah, what job class does Jinwoo receive from this system?
Which season?
Like when he starts.
When he starts?
Yeah.
Wolf Assassin.
Yeah. What shocking twist is revealed about Jinwoo's father?
He's not dead. He's alive.
Yeah.
And he's stronger than the S rank dude, the S rank enemy.
Yeah, that's really good. Damn, you know all of this.
Yeah.
All right, well that was an awesome chat about the solo leveling. It's crazy because we can talk about it like all the time.
You can do so many questions on me, and I'll do everything.
I know, but it's crazy because like I said, the overall environment, the storyline, the different characters is all very, very well done, and I don't know the way that the way that they're animating it, it looks amazing too. They're putting a lot of effort into it.
The voice is bad.
The what?
The voice is bad. They need to hire a new person.
No, don't say that.
The dub.
I mean, well, you're watching it in Japanese anyways.
Yeah, but like I want something like Japanese, because like the Japanese, I can already tell that it's already deep because it's deep.
Yeah.
And I read the subtitles and I can just like click into my mind. That's how he's saying it.
No, I get it. I get that. So, yeah. So it's really good. The anime is amazing. Actually, the anime is one of the best ones. I was hooked. I cannot watch series or TV shows or even anime. Like once I watch it, I have to get a period of time where I don't watch it. And this is the first anime in a very long time that I've watched the seasons multiple times. Like I told your mom, and then I watched it with I watched it with you, with your mom. I watched it with you, Brandon. Yeah, I watched it a couple times. And
the cousins.
Yeah, with the cousins too. Like the more I watch it, the more I pick up random like details that I've missed.
Or from the theories that you watch.
I watch a lot of.
Spoil it to me, please.
I won't. Don't spoil. I'm like, hey, did you know? I guess that's spoiling.
Please, I need to know.
So all right. All right. So if you were in the world, like, what would you want to like? If you were in that world, would you want to stay at home, not be in danger? Would you like to be like awakened to be a hunter?
Is this a serious question?
It is a serious question.
You already know what I'm gonna choose.
Be a hunter.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I wouldn't just stay home because then the ants are gonna get me.
Yeah. So for our audience, like if you've already watched Solo Leveling, what is your favorite part?
What's your favorite shadow?
Who's your favorite?
Igris.
Yeah. Who's your favorite shadow? What do you think about it? Like, let us know. Put a comment in the comment section. Like and subscribe. But this is amazing. This is a good anime. So I hope you enjoyed our episode. I should have put a disclaimer that we're gonna talk about a lot of spoilers for people that didn't watch it. Hopefully, like the people that didn't mind it getting spoiled, they stayed along, or the people that are watching it already watched it. What
you should do after the theme song? You should do like a blur and just say a lot of spoilers in this episode.
That's a good idea.
For anime.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna take you up on that. I'm gonna put it on. They should have already known by now. They should have already known there was a bunch of spoilers, and we just destroy the whole anime for them. But if they already watched it, they probably would have enjoyed the episode. But like I said, thank you for joining. This is very, very good anime. You should definitely watch it. If you haven't watched it, if you watched it, you're right with us. Put a comment. Let us know what you like, and we'll coming back.
Next episode, Dragon Ball Z. I will not be there because I do not like Dragon Ball Z. Do not hate on me.
Oh my God, this girl. All right, have a nice one.
Please don't.
Bye.